Good morning. Happy feast of St. Mary Magdalene from Magdala at the Sea of Galilee. Maybe you can see some of our visitors out there on paddle boards. 4 of them went out this morning. I don't see the 4th one right now myself. This is quite distant from there, so the zoom is I'm not sure if the problem with the Facebook is getting fixed for those who do live stream each morning and really live, but there's an issue with the notifications, so we'll just have to live with that. I have no idea how to fix it. If somebody knows, please spread the word. This is a challenge, but there's some more of you on this morning, so that's good. And I'm going to do a little different plan this morning because of the special occasion of Mary Magdalene, this incredible blossom of life, this so rich personality, wildly crying out for God in her soul, needing help, needing release, needing super intervention, and all that beauty radiates forever from her person as the first witness of Jesus risen from the dead. And so here we're at the port. While we're here, let's just take a second to look at that and enjoy realities that were here 2,000 years ago for a second. But I have another plan that's just an afterthought right now to look at this. Ancient olive trees, but surely after her time. The mountain she looked at. Were there palm trees here at that time? Possibly. Olives for sure. Stone structures. This road is authentic. Absolutely a very serious road that continues underneath the Encounter Chapel. And we were at it on Monday, I think it was. We were over at the Franciscan side, over there, beyond that mound. And we saw the Roman Tower, the Roman Road. So we're here in the stomping ground of Mary Magdalene. And now I want to take you to a few very special Magdala features where we remember her in a particularly powerful way. So let us enjoy that. This bougainvillea really seems to be wanting to celebrate her with every petal, every flower, every branch, every reaching to the sky, to the heights. Do not touch me until I am gone to the Father. I will be lifted up and bring all people to myself. So she surely saw that cave up there. You know, that's a very ancient cave up there in Mount Arbel. Those caves were used by Herod the Great. There's a bunch more further around the corner there, where Herod eliminated his last enemies of his power. And then afterwards in the rebellion against Rome. So those caves were there at that time, for sure. All the good people that have helped make Magdala a possibility, bring Magdala back to life in this way. And here we have this wonderful composition by the Mexican sculptor Ferre. And Mary Magdalene is presented in the light of Luke chapter 8, verse 3, that she, along with other women, were supporting Jesus from their wealth, from their substance, with their whole heart, They were pillars of support in his community. And here we have Mary Magdalene holding this basket of bread. And you can see here a half a loaf. And here she's giving him the other half. And he's humbly accepting it like he did. He took on our nature and allowed Mary to bear him for 9 months, Mary, his mother. Mary's a very common name, Miriam. And then allowed a carpenter to provide for him. And now these women are major supports in his mission. They're recognizing him, his gift in their lives, and they want to be with him, to be part of his community. They want to follow him. They don't want to leave him. And that's what we discover in her fidelity even to Calvary, when the apostles don't have the nerve to do that. And the women are there at the foot of the cross with Jesus. This is a great, it captures a moment. It captures, not just a moment, it captures the public life of Jesus. It captures the role of women. It captures their sensitivity, their heart, their will, their commitment, their practical eye, their sensitivity to need, their readiness to serve. And Jesus honors that. Jesus defends that. Society has lots of problems after the separation from God in Genesis. It's amazing what happens. Amazing what happens. The alienation of human beings from their own very self and from their family. Cain kills Abel. Work becomes drudgery, which had meant to be creative, which had meant to be redemptive. Well, it still becomes more redemptive then with the tears you shall earn your bread by the sweat of your brow. And here we have this bread that surely took some sweat, some effort. So now let's move along to another memory of Mary Magdalene. These women who so strongly supported Jesus. That beautiful sculpture by Ferré, which was a gift from him to us. It's an amazing gift. And here we go into Ducum Altum. Pilgrims are already coming out at this early hour of the morning. Others were down for sunrise. Good morning. We're on live stream here for the Feast of Mary Magdalene. And you're here for that day. So as we come into the atrium of the women, honoring the women, the most beautiful part of this building, the most complex part, the central part. You cannot go anywhere except through this chapel. All these beautiful mosaic chapels. And here we have right away the first column on the right, dedicated to Mary of Magdala, Mary Magdalene. Pillars of support in Jesus' column. A very powerful statement, just so direct, so simple, no excessive words, just their name. God had chosen them like the vocations we were contemplating of Ezekiel and Jeremiah the last couple of days, and each of the apostles and everybody. God had called these women to be pillars in his work of salvation, his work of redemption of humanity. Humanity is crying out to long for God. It's expressed in spousal relationships in the Bible. Hosea the prophet is the great bard of the spousal relationship of God and humanity, God and his chosen people representing humanity, a light to the nations. Maybe we'll come back in a moment, or maybe we should just check it now while the sun is this way, just to capture the light coming in here. I want to go back then to the chapel of Mary Magdalene. This building was not planned with Mary Magdalene in mind, because the plan was already made when before we had the land. And we could have got land in different places, and Providence brought us here. We said, thanks be to God, because this has been such a blessing. There was such a mystery unfolding here in Magdala. And to be able to acquire land here through the generosity of so many people, so many benefactors from all over the world. Let's go down and capture this moment before the sun gets higher. See if we can get some nice light effect here, as we normally not. And here we see the boat is floating on the Sea of Galilee. Somebody asked the other day where that marble is from exactly. It's from Norway, and what its name is, and I don't know that yet. I haven't got that answer for you, so be patient with me. So now we go to Mary Magdalene's chapel. The first chapel on the right as we enter, dedicated to her. So this whole building was dedicated primarily to the ministry of Jesus in action, teaching and lifting up people and launching them, and how he lifted up Mary Magdalene and launched her with this awesome mission that she had. Mary was called Magdalene. This is coming from Luke chapter 8, 1-3. It's the only scene of Mary Magdalene in the Gospels in Galilee. All the rest are in Jerusalem, at Calvary, at the crucifixion, then at the burial, and then at the tomb on the morning of the resurrection, from which also the Gospel today is taken. And Mary is speaking to somebody whom she thinks is the gardener. Where have you put him? I will take him away. She has this longing to be with Jesus. It's no coincidence that there's a looking theme. It's no coincidence that there's a gardener theme, because this was the beginning of Genesis chapter 1, chapter 2, creation. God created heaven and earth. And then he's looking for Adam and Eve in chapter 3. In a way, Adam was looking for Eve beforehand, because none of the creatures was satisfactory for his heart. And this spousal relationship that God has gifted to mankind became a metaphor, like the whole of reality is a metaphor for the relationship with God. And this spousal relationship expresses the intense drive that the human heart and mind and soul has for the Creator and for our Redeemer and for eternal union with God. And so we have this gardener and this woman looking for the gardener, looking for the body of her dead and beloved. And that's also a theme. Death is a theme of Genesis chapter 3. And then it unfolds with Cain and Abel. And here's the ultimate killing of the brother that was doing good. And here we see another theme. Do you remember in the Sistine Chapel where there are two fingers pointing one to the other, creation? And here we have these two hands arranged, often suggests that, evokes that image to those who come here. And to see here the new creation, of which the New Testament is a complete echo, a complete presentation of the new creation, an echo of the first creation. That gift of life, that glory, that joy, that beauty that shines in Mary Magdalene again. Her soul is completely looking for God. So often our hearts and souls are dragged by so many different attractions, the beautiful attractions of nature. But with our fallen nature, we become so distracted and we're no longer looking for God. We're just looking for immediate pleasure, for immediate power, for immediate riches in order to have more pleasure and more power. And it's a huge ego affirmation. And true love isn't an ego affirmation. True love is the honoring of the person in front of me, the honoring of God himself, first of all, who is always in front of me, who is always with me, who is always in me. In him we move and are and have our being. And to live with that great orientation, that great polarization toward that great magnetic direction towards God. All of reality combines to be one major metaphor for God, for the relationship he has with us, for his creative power, for his intimate love, for his fulfilling our heart's desires. And that's the language of our readings today from the Song of Songs. The reading for the day doesn't show up well on the Instagram, but I leave it here on the Facebook. I think it still shows up there for you. The bride says, I sought him, but I did not find him. I will rise and go about the city and the streets. I will ask people. She will ask the gardener. This is all echoed here in John chapter 20. The love of Christ impels us, the second reading we have today, because it's a feast day. The love of Christ impels us once we have come to the conviction that one died for all. Therefore, we have died to our selfishness, and he will raise us up. Whoever is in Christ is a new creation. The old things have passed away. Behold, new things have come. For you, my flesh pines, my soul thirsts. Psalm 63. Like the earth parched, lifeless, and without water, my soul is thirsting for you, O Lord my God. Thus I have gazed toward you in the sanctuary to see your power and your glory. And that's the focus of Mary Magdalene's heart, her fidelity. Awesome gift. We'll leave it like that, people. I think I went over time. God bless you. It's a glorious morning here in Galilee to celebrate Mary Magdalene. And we'll be back with Mass in the evening, God willing. And see you later, alligators. I'm on Instagram right now.